Life begins after coffee. I'm pretty sure a lot of us, especially the coffee enthusiasts, can relate. For most people, coffee is a survival juice that helps them get through the day. The coffee culture is widespread in the world. But how is it in ASEAN nations? Is it a colonial hangover or a significant part of the ASEAN identity? Who would have thought that goats led to the accidental discovery of coffee? According to legends, in Utopian Plateau, a goat herder discovered coffee when he noticed his goats became so energetic after eating the berries of a certain tree. He reported his findings to the abbot of local monastery, and since then, it spread from the Arabian Peninsula and to the world. In 17th century, coffee had made its way to Europe because of the European travelers to the Near East bringing back stories about this unusual black beverage. Coffee houses became places for the social activity in major cities of Europe. The first introduction of coffee in Southeast Asia started in 1699 when the Dutch colonial government initially planted coffee around Batavia, which is now known as Jakarta. Indonesia was then the first place outside Arabia and Utopia where coffee was widely cultivated. The coffee cultivated in Indonesia were then brought by Dutch traders to European cities. Mornings in Southeast Asia begins mostly in coffee shops, where early morning workers take a dose of their early morning coffee to kickstart their day. In Indonesia, the day doesn't begin until one has had a cup of kopi tubruk or mud coffee. But like their islands, their coffee is a diverse, such as their kopi luwak, aka civet coffee, which is the most expensive coffee in the world, Kintamani coffee, and Turaha coffee. Coffee demand in this country, especially for young people, is growing heavily because coffee habits from countries like Australia and the US are adopted by the Indonesians studying abroad. It is the social drink of choice, replacing alcohol. Vietnam is the second largest exporter of coffee in the world and the biggest in Southeast Asia. Local coffee chains like Trong Nguyen, Phuc Long and Highlands remain competitive due to their own traditional coffee products. Did you know that Vietnamese locals use raw eggs in their coffee? Beaten raw egg yolks form a thicky, foamy cream that sits on top of their coffee. In Thailand, there is their Cafe Buran, a Thai traditional coffee, and Cafe Buran stalls, which are street-side stalls are a symbol of Thai culture. Laos is considered the third largest producer of coffee in Southeast Asia. Even though locals prefer powdered and heavily sweetened instant coffee. They offer high-quality coffees in local coffee shops in every city, which are great for dining and doing work. Trip to Laos would not be complete without a coffee plantation tour for coffee lovers. On the bustling streets of Cambodia, Café de Tuk Gort is sold in plastic bags or cups. As you visit ancient temples, you will find plenty of coffee carts on every corner. But visiting the first Cambodian-owned and operated coffee chain, Brown Coffee and Bakery, has become a symbol of status for many Cambodians, where they sit and unwind and post pictures of their drink in social media. In Malaysia, a coffee shop is a public place where most social activities happen for Malay society. As the appreciation for coffee progressed, small coffee stalls and kopitiams or traditional coffee shops developed to cafes. Singaporean coffee scene is commonly glimpsed in community food courts and neighborhood food markets. These coffee stalls are present in food centers throughout the city, operating from early to evening. Singaporeans order their coffees by specific names such as kopi with milk, kopi o without milk, and kopi gardai, more sugar, among many others. For many Filipinos, coffee plays a huge role in our daily lives. From casual Pinoy breakfasts to huge meetings, it has become a staple. Even the phrase "kape tayo" is a form of invitation and a high form of endearment. According to the Philippine Coffee Board, there was a time when the Philippines was the only source of coffee beans worldwide. As one of the biggest consumers of coffee in the world, the coffee culture here is huge. Okay, I'm now drinking my favorite espresso. This beans is called Loca beans. So let's try. It's very dark. So this is a Americano. It's in espresso, but I put a hot water in it because the espresso is too strong, and I want to enjoy it. I want to enjoy the coffee. Now, is coffee culture in ASEAN a colonial hangover or instead a part of its identity? Well, as a start, it is not considered a colonial hangover since the coffee culture here in the region is different from the Europeans. Although they were the ones who introduced coffee to us, we still have a unique perspective and approach to the coffee way of life. It has become a part of our identity. From kickstarting our day, surviving loads of work, relaxing and unwinding, to socializing with others. It is a fuel for many of our affairs, and most especially an antidote to hangover.